My lightning talk today is about pivoting face-to-face events to online engagement methods. Yes, my session is going to be about taking a cybersecurity health check and pivoting it to an online engagement model. A little bit of background about me. I'm the cybersecurity culture lead at Kroll. This was really challenging from the perspective of having multiple clients asking us to pivot their security awareness programs to an online delivery model. I won't go into the background. We all know about the challenges that we've all had. I will say that, these were obviously challenging times, and I think they're really challenging for our profession. And I think, though, we have really learnt some great things as we've all been discussing here today. So I think, it's been great that whilst these were challenging times, we've really come out and been innovative in the way we deliver these programs. So how do you get to cybersecurity awareness nirvana? I don't have a silver bullet, but I do know that testing and using guinea pigs, as you like, as has been mentioned before, really did work for pivoting some of these online events. So this particular session where I focus on cybersecurity health check, we did do a number of run-throughs. So we didn't just jump straight into the virtual delivery. We did, with the client, do some test run, test it on each other within our team, get some feedback before we then sort of took it to the client and to actual, virtual delivery. Sorry, the slides are slightly slow at my end. It might be because I'm coming all the way from Australia. So we focused on the what's in it for me. So the cybersecurity health check is really about being safe online at work, home and play. And from that perspective, we did focus on how do you, be part of a safe cybersecurity community and take those skills that you would learn at home back into your home life and vice versa. This was done through a digital footprints exercise. So basically, it was looking at tracking online behaviour, trying to educate people on how cyber criminals can learn more about us from our digital footprint. And so what we really did do in these sessions was encourage people to look at their own digital footprint. So we normally do that in person in this cybersecurity health check type event. We basically just took those materials, those FAQs and Q&A type questions, the types of things that we'd be looking for when it comes to like a physical device cybersecurity health check, and change that to online. Started back to basics. So we had to explain to the audience what a digital footprint was. So basically, with that really education piece on these are the types of things that contribute to a digital footprint. We individually contribute to our own digital footprint, but other people can contribute to it as well. So that was sort of the base premise of the kickoff part of the session. We encourage people to consider their digital footprint, and we did that in a pre-comms that went out to our cybersecurity community before the session. So before they actually dialed into that Zoom session and did their security awareness digital footprint exercise, they're encouraged to start thinking about it ahead of time. So I probably sent that invitation and the prompter about a week before. So I'm not going to go through how to actually run a digital footprint exercise in great detail just because of time. As security awareness professionals, you can run them based on password strength or social media settings. What I basically did was explain to the group that we were going to be running a search based on our email and name. So we went away, did that search, then came back to the group and discussed the results. And just obviously explain some basic steps on how to do that to the audience. I use my own search results. So I did a test for myself before I actually run this. I would encourage you to do this before you present to anyone, just to make sure that you're comfortable with what's showing up on a digital footprint, and obviously never do a search like this on a person that you'd present back to a group without checking with them first. again, I used myself as a case study because I was comfortable with what was out there and what I wanted to share. And I made it a little bit funny. I put some, images of me over the years of different jobs and, different hairstyles, and a little bit of a quirk that at the end, obviously from another Melissa Misuraca, because I don't bake, so that image doesn't belong to me. I also went through a number of conferences and events that I'd presented at with permission. And then at the end of the session, I encouraged people to think about their own digital footprint. I explained that once digital traces were created, they were difficult to control, and really did encourage employees in that session to think about what they would post or share, to read and understand privacy policies. And I also took them through some steps, depending on the platform, on how they could actually reduce their digital footprint. So whether it was being asked to leave like a marketing list or tighten up their security settings. So there were some of those practical takeaways. Client, they had a change champion network, and it was quite evolved. We usually have about 30 people attend the session monthly, and then take some of those key messages back to their departments and groups as well. So that was a way of sort of scaling the program, if you like. Of course, the key question on everyone's lips is, well, that's great, you've done a digital footprint exercise and made it personal, but how do you actually take that back to make it about a corporate security? So how do you actually get those key messages and that right buy-in to change that behaviour so people take security seriously at a corporate level? In this particular session, I did actually have people that had run a digital footprint exercise on the organisation. So they actually had found a couple of fake websites about conferences. So it just goes to show they were able to take the cybersecurity from the work perspective and home, and sort of flip back and forth between cybersecurity behaviours and safe online behaviours, moving between corporate and personal. I'm almost right on time. I closed the sessions that I ran with a poll, and I did ask everyone what they wanted to know about the next virtual session. So always got that feedback at the end. What do you want to hear about the next session? What's that burning question for you? As has been mentioned earlier as well, I did make sure that the program and the topics were applicable to a large group of people. So the Change Champion audience is diverse, and therefore the content needed to be diverse as well. Thank you.